Hi, good night, everybody. I will talk about capitalism in this night. I will talk about local Indonesian. It's my city, Batu City, so close with Malang City. I will take the title about capitalism occur in Batu City. We know then the concentrate essential force from the new order baru to the reformation was capital. The situation didn't change even though with the fall of the order baru, the situation didn't become socialism or communism, which was embraced by the order. So it can be said that as long as Suharto was the rule of the new order baru, the power of socialism, led by Sukarno, was completely exhausted to this day. After the Reformation, the regional autonomy law came into effect. One of the essence is that the regions have the right to regulate their respective potential and government. However, with the presence of the power of capital, that is still working. The area is now capitalist wetland to harvest all its potential profit. Consequently, if we look at the from Suharto sultanistic oligarchy, now it's collective oligarchy and civil oligarchy which spreads to every region. One of them is clearly visible in Batu City. There aren't many studies that focus directly on or indirectly of the development of capital in Batu City. What is the role of region capital rules oligarchs in formulating pro-business policies? This is because the analysis as well as the framework adopted by academics is only limit the role of the elite in important analysis. Academics only see that the change from the new order to reformasi through regional autonomy. The government play an important role in managing the region itself, whereas in the power of political power in terms of policy formulation, many non-government organizations uh, are struggling to represent the interests of its individual, one of which is the oligarchy. We know that the concept essential force from the energy is capital. They are clear general picture of process development and capitalism by CC. The size of the capital development analyzed category is normative, considering that what Jeffrey Winters offers is a group of people who lead the purpose of multiplying wealth. The form of capitalism that occurs is driven by several constraint factors, including the state of the social structure, the impact of capitalism and its economy, the destruction of the lower class, the nature of political conflict in the period before, after, and after capitalism, the range of the elite within the central economy, and the magnitude of its natural wealth and potential. One of factor that has proven to be very decisive in formulating a capitalist economic system is the economic and political design, with the emergence of oligarchy. The development of artificial tourism, for example, is the result of the process of the capitalist revolution. Under the leadership of the oligarchy, socialism, and various forms of elite power in Batu City that come from agriculture field to the ground, fell to the ground. The implication is the immediate collapse of the domestic capitalist class. Generally, the bourgeois sells his land because the state no longer maintains. So that political power is fully held by the oligarchy in every decision making. One of the interest question is with political and social change in Batu City. Thus, an agrarian society led by an elite there to maintain an eternal agrarian model. Will they give into this situation by selling them to the capitalism, selling their land for the government, or will they form a new model of mixing between socialist agrarian society and capitalist industry? For me, looking at class as something very important, the capitalist class is just the view that the multiplication of wealth is the main goal. It's not important to care about the welfare of the community, the people, distribution of wealth, and corporate social responsibility, except to improve the image after irregulars commit by the company. First, most people will comment that the company image has a positive impact on the surrounding community. For example, regarding trades for are selling well and agricultural products that can be entrusted to the company, a lower class will expect more about even if fact, the fact is temporary or non-existent. Second, regarding the emergence of the capitalists who are considered quite significant in terms of increasing regional tax and or levies. The power of the oligarchy is other entrepreneurs to support its business. However, political and economic power takes time to consolidate in terms of emptying the form elite power. Of course, political force will fight hard in terms of grabbing public resources, especially regarding asset control. Third, the continued dominance of the oligarchy political economy give more confidence to the party that the oligarchy has control a regime like this kingdom without any opposition that is able to fight and combine force. So that the oligarchy gets absolute power, civil society imagines that law to go beyond capitalist class that has absolute power. Its reader passes a political analysis to get to the basic of the ideal form of the government to the socialist revolution over by the Marines. Radical knowledge about capitalists, oligarchy, and socialists is very much needed to offer alternative choice. The oligarchy theory offers that there's no other choice for the proletariat to carry out a revolution. This revolution is offered either through the power of socialist society, the bourgeois revolution, or the struggle among oligarchies. If the revolution is not carried out immediately, the government, the proletariat, and the bourgeois will become vacancies or slave in every politic. Thus, they are no longer count as members of the class or part of the relation between the state and capital. Okay, thank you. BBC News 24 in Indonesia. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good night.